Hello and welcome. My name is Nikki Pfeiffer. For those of you who do not know me, I am a holistic life coach and I will be hosting this video series for doing a 3-day smoothie cleanse. Smoothie cleanses are my favorite cleanses and I have been doing them for about 10 years. And it's always a struggle. So I love being a part of a community that I can encourage and help those who would also like to do cleanses along the way. So, number one, this is all about preparing for our cleanse, just getting ready. Number one is increase your water. All of us are operating slightly in a dehydrated mode most of the times, I would say. There are some of us who do not, and they're really good at drinking water. I'm grateful for you and good job. But a lot of us neglect water drinking on a general. I have worked in the alternative medicine field, the health and wellness field for like the last 10, 15 years. And everyone that I work with almost always says, I didn't drink enough water today, or I know this is a problem because I didn't drink my water. So increase your water. It's a generalized recommendation to drink half your weight in ounces. So, for example, if you weigh 150 pounds, then you would drink 75 ounces of water a day. And that is really to prevent even those really small underlying symptoms of dehydration. So, if you have a medical condition that you cannot drink or increase water, you would be aware of that, but do know that if your doctor has recommended for you not to increase water intake, always take your doctor's recommendation and listen to your body. As we prepare for our cleanse and you increase your water, know that at first, if you're drinking lots of water, you might actually have to go to the bathroom more often. So if you work in an office or you work where you're kind of cornered all the time, keep that in mind. And that brings me to the point of a hydration schedule. So my particular thing is that what I do is I take a mason jar, like a canning jar, and this one's kind of small. I will drink my water since I'm talking about drinking water. That one is like a 12-ounce jar, but the larger glass jars are like 32 ounces if you fill it all the way up. So drinking on a schedule, like if you get up at 6 a.m. and you have to leave for work by 7, you want to consume all of that water pretty much at the same time. That way, your body is super hydrated. It will last a lot longer than if you just drink like little sips of water or even just like 4 or 5 ounces of water. So drink that entire thing. If you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, drink your water between 6 and 6:15. You have plenty of time to go to the bathroom, like all those kinds of things. Really plan out your hydration. And if you are planning on drinking, like, let's say, a gallon of water, you could drink 4 quarts of water to equal your gallon, and you would have 4 hydration times a day. So those particular times where it's like, okay, like I have X amount of time on my lunch break, or I have X amount of time after I get home from work, and X amount of time before I go to bed. So just try and fit those in. And again, if you're trying to drink 75 ounces, you divide that by 3. You want to set up 3 hydration times of the day. But while you're doing your smoothie cleanse, you always want to drink that water of roughly 30 minutes before you drink your smoothie. So we will get into the schedule and the plan a little bit later. But for today, just think about that hydration schedule and increasing your water intake and what that might look like for you. Also, pick a goal. What is your goal for your cleanse? So some people are starting new diet plans. Some people are introducing a new eating habit into their life. Sometimes we're doing these cleanses to kind of figure out what inflammatory foods that we are consuming that maybe we're ready to let go of in our diets. Like, what is your goal? What is your plan? Do you want to embark on a weight loss journey? Maybe you want to lose 10 pounds, and in order to kind of jumpstart that process, you're just going to give yourself a minute to clean out, those types of things. So pick your goal. And along with picking your goal, set your intention. What is your intention? Do you plan on doing your cleanse for 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, a month? How long are you planning on doing a cleanse for? And what is your intention for that cleanse? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to feel? What do you have to gain, or what are you trying to let go of? So try and set an intention for your cleanse. This particular video that I'm making right now is during the dark moon as I move forwards towards my cleanse. And by the time that I finish my cleanse will be the new moon. So I intended this very specifically, set the intentions to work with the cycles of the moon, which can be really powerful. And at this point in time, we are in Aries season. So for me, that always gives me the energy, the power, the willpower, and the mind to start something and see it through to the end. So be mindful of when you pick to do this cleanse, just as a suggestion. And also make sure that you fit it into your schedule and you commit. So let's say you decided to do a cleanse and then you realize that you have a date night with your girlfriends and normally you would drink alcohol. Keep in mind that if you commit, try and commit no matter what. No one's going to hate you because you're doing a cleanse. You're not going to miss out on the world's best time ever because you are doing a cleanse. Just stay committed. And in that piece of commitment, commit to one day at a time. When I first started doing these cleanses 10 years ago, I didn't even make it through a full 24 hours. And I wasn't too hard on myself for that. I struggled a lot mentally. This is really a mental game, more so than a physical game. It's mind over matter. And I learned a lot about myself and how much I rely on my food for comfort and things like that. But I didn't make it. I ate like 2 or 3 Triscuits at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night because I was like, I'm just so hungry. And I really wasn't. I was feeding myself all day. Just mentally, I felt like I was in such a lack mode that I had to have something. So I didn't even make it a full 24 hours. I recommitted the next day and I did finish the 3-day cleanse, but I didn't make it through the first 24 hours, with a gold star. I cheated. So over the years, the longest that I've ever been able to go is 5 to 7 days doing a cleanse. My attention gets away from me and all these kinds of things. But just commit. If you commit to 3 days and you make it through one, that's awesome. If you didn't make it through the first day, recommit the next day. Maybe you just want to try a cleanse for 3 days. So you just put the intention out there, experience what there is to experience, and just see how far you make it. If you would commit to only one day, try and do it one day at a time. If you can commit to one day and you make it through, even if you failed, and I use failed very loosely because failures are just steps to success. So even if you failed the first day and you commit to it 2 days and you're like, okay, if you can do 2 days, then you can do 3. And that is why I always pick a 3-day cleanse. No matter how long you want to do it or how long I do it, 3-day commitment I feel is very doable, especially if maybe you need to do a cleanse over the weekend, because of your schedule, or maybe it works better for like the middle of the week or whatever it might be. But just make sure that you commit one day at a time. That's all it takes. And sharing my struggle with you just a little bit, make sure that you are journaling. Journaling through this process is going to be so important. Make sure that you're writing down how you feel. Write down your experiences, maybe even your recipes that you used for your smoothies, or something that you really didn't like. I have actually made so many smoothies in my lifetime, and there has been ones that I'm like, I literally don't know if I can drink all of this, because I will mix something like, I think one of them that I made had like a variety of things, but it was like banana, grapefruit, and protein powder. Oh my God, that was not good. I couldn't drink it, So maybe keep your recipes written down. Just have like a sacred notebook or journal book or whatever it is, where you're gonna just track yourself throughout the day, your feelings, your thoughts, your processes, your emotions, whatever comes up for you, write it down. Really experience this as fully as possible. Listen to all of the little messages from the universe that you get, all the messages from your inner self, your subconscious mind. Write those things down. And is there pick a purpose? Is there a purpose that you are intending for this cleanse? Is there a purpose? Why are you doing this? And that kind of falls into what I talked about earlier as far as setting your intention. Set your intention, make your goal, and what is your purpose? I like to do a 3-day clean eating intro, do my 3-day cleanse, in a 3-day clean eating outro. So I normally, this all takes, between 7 and 10 days to complete. But you want to be very careful not to say, okay, I'm going to do this 3-day cleanse, and then as soon as I'm done with that, I am going to eat all the beer or eat all the pizza and drink all the beer. Because it's going to not feel good. Like, you are not going to be in a good place if you decide to eat pizza and drink beer directly after a 3-day cleanse. So you want to kind of slowly wean yourself off of your cleanse, the same as you want to slowly wean yourself off of your normal diet, just to decrease the shock factor for your body and for your mind. So give yourself that little buffer time of where you can be like, okay, like I'm gonna start removing or decreasing things out of my diet. Those things are very common. We know what they are: sugar, caffeine, processed foods, alcohol, those types of things. You really want to start decreasing them. And then as you work on that, I highly suggest decreasing meat out of your diet. And a side note for this diet, food consumption is, while we're doing this cleanse, is not really the time to try and hit your PRs at the gym. Like, you're not trying to do maximum workouts, run the furthest you've ever ran. Moderate exercise is totally fine to do while you're on doing a cleanse, but you have to remember that you are at a calorie deficit. So you're not trying to burn tons and tons of calories. You don't want to upset your body that much, again, with that harshness, like that harsh transition. So not saying that you can't exercise while you're doing a cleanse, but you do want to keep in mind that this is not necessarily the time to go all out. We are offering our bodies rest, recover, rejuvenation, reset, like that mindset. So keep that in there. Walking, swimming, whatever it is that you want to do, some like cardio work. I would not encourage you to do like massive weightlifting or anything like that unless you're really, really good at making sure that your smoothies and the food that you're intaking has those macronutrients in it that is essential for your body when you're building muscle like that. That is my side note on when we're paying attention to our diet. But for the most part, this is exactly what I wanted to go over with you. Last little note, not the least important, very important, save the best for last. Love yourself and love all of your accomplishments. No matter how far you make it in a cleanse, no matter how committed you are this time, today, whenever you begin, love yourself. Love yourself for the accomplishments. Take your lessons, keep an open mind, and love yourself. That's all you have to do. Commit to one day at a time. Love yourself no matter what. This is all that I have for you today. I will have another video up for you that will be more geared towards your shopping list and really just preparing physically and emotionally, mentally for your smoothie cleanse. I thank you all for spending this time and space with me. I will see you in the next video.